Good morning, awesome people. I hope we're all doing good and had a fabulous weekend. My week has just started, and I wanted to say hello to everybody before I get into the rest of the day. I want to use this opportunity to actually answer a question that I was asked recently about my thoughts on a slightly older woman wanting to date a younger guy, whether it's an absolute no-no, whether it's something that is possible to do, and what you have to keep in mind if that is what you're intending to do. We live in an era now where the ways of dating has changed. Relationships used to come about from people who had known each other for a very long time, either through school or living in the same area or whatever. But as time has had it and time has gone on now, people don't have time. So social media or dating apps has now become the way that a lot of people are finding love and relationships today. Social media has connected people all across the globe together to be able to be in one place and find different things for different people. That is God's honest truth. And if you live in this planet called Earth, you need to move with the times. That's just the truth too. Good morning, everybody. I need some love hearts to give me energy to keep going. So if you're here and you love me and you know it, the red love hearts, you know how we do it already. So just keep it coming so that I have the energy. When I see love hearts pop up my screen, it just gives me a different kind of excitement. I don't really love blues. Blues don't really do much for me. The red love hearts, they do a lot for me. So if you want me to continue talking, can I have some red love hearts, please? Yes, I can see 1, 2. Can I have some more? Just keep your thumb on the love heart button and God will bless you. Thank you so much for being here. And so if you're an older woman and you're dating somebody that is slightly younger than you, what are the issues? So this very big question, for me personally, the answer is that it really depends on you and what it is that you can cope with. If you're 50, and your partner or your husband is 48 or 47, unless you go telling everybody in the world that you're 3 years or whatever older than your husband or your partner, how is anybody going to know? But that's very different from you being 60 and dating a 30-year-old man. Very different. So it really depends on you. But here are 7 things that you really need to consider if that is what you really want to do. And the first thing is that you need to be clear in your mind, have clarity about what you're looking for in the relationship. As an older woman, it might be that you've been married before, you've had your children, and for whatever reason, your marriage or previous relationship didn't work out. And so now you're looking to have fun. You just want somebody that can commit to you and you alone. You can be exclusive and you can just have fun and live your life. For other people, you're looking for a committed relationship for a second time or even a first time. Somebody that you can rely on. Hello, Sissy. Somebody that you can rely on and really submit to. I'll come back to that point. But you need to decide in your mind as the woman and also the guy who is going to be dating the older woman, what it is that you're looking for in your relationship. Have the clarity and decide what it is that you're about in the relationship. Because today people are getting into relationships for very different reasons. And that's something that a lot of us are not understanding. The fact that you're going in for love does not mean that the other person coming in is coming in for the same thing. And this is why the conversation needs to be had very early on. What do you want? That's the $1 million question. What do you want? If you want a relationship that's going to end forever and a day, and that's what the other person wants, you agree on that. If you just want to have fun with each other, you agree upon that. And I think that that is really why a lot of people get disappointed, is because you don't ask the salient questions, the important questions earlier on, so that everybody is clear in their mind where you're coming from. Let's have fun. Oh, but we didn't talk about it. But he was so much in love with me. How do you know what is in the mind if the other person doesn't communicate that to you. Hello, Thomas from Oman. Oh my gosh, wow. Congratulations and welcome. Sister Shyla, how are you doing, sweetheart? The second thing is that when you're dating somebody that is much, much younger than you as a woman, sometimes the person may be in a different emotional maturity level to you. Although I have to say, I have a lot of people that are dating younger men. Sometimes even quite a substantial age gap between the two of them. You know, sometimes quite a big age gap between the two of them. Somebody is 45, the boyfriend is 35 or 32. But these people are reporting to me that actually the younger generation, the men that are a decade or so younger than I am now, are very much into this whole thing about knowing how to treat a woman and be emotionally available. That is something that is quite lacking in some of our men because they're not wired that way. It's an attribute or a skill that you have to have over time. And not a lot of people are able to cultivate or grow that emotion or have that and be able to express themselves emotionally with their partners. So you have to think about that as well. Sometimes some men are emotionally available and it has nothing to do with age. But at other times, you can date somebody who is very young and doesn't even know the next thing about their own selves, not to talk about you. And young people can sometimes tend to be selfish and just want what they want. And if you're much more mature than this person and they're not available for you, they don't even understand you or what you're about, that can be very hard. And so I'm not here to prescribe any age, oh, you can't marry somebody or date somebody who is more than 5 or 10 years younger than you because that person is too young for you. You do what works best for you. But bear in mind these 7 things that we're talking about. One of them being clear from the very beginning about what your expectations are or what you want out of the relationship. And the second thing being that you have to think about emotional maturity. Is this person emotionally mature or is this person not? The third thing that you need to think about is that you may be in at different stages of your life. At 45, most women are probably established in a job that they love or have built their career to a very comfortable position and they know where they're going. If you're dating somebody in their 20s, it might be that they've just come out of school and are trying to still figure out who they are. What do I actually want to do? So if this is what you're wanting to do, then you know that you have to have a different kind of personality and approach in being with this person who is much younger than you, because your minds may be in 2 completely different places. Somebody who is significantly younger than you may also now want to start a family. And now you, not really keen on that. You're just looking to wind down. That can be a big issue if these things are not teased out from the very get-go so that both parties know what they're getting themselves into. The fourth thing that I want to talk about is that when you're coming into the relationship, you have to understand that both people are coming into the relationship carrying baggage. Whether you like it or not, it's the fact of the matter. So when you're dating somebody who is more mature than you, say you're dating somebody who is in their mid-ages, a woman who is 45 or 50, chances are that she's been in previous relationships. She's coming into this one with children. Children who could be teenagers or maybe even young adults, but children nonetheless. Are you prepared to deal with a woman that has children and emotional baggage and children from a previous relationship or previous relationships that you are now coming into? You may not have any children, have ever dated anybody that seriously. And now you're coming into a space where you're marrying or dating somebody who has already finished that chapter of their life. Don't want to have no more children. I just want to have a companion. And now here you are, you're finding yourself that, oh, actually, I thought I'll have this woman to myself every day, all day, but you can't because the person has got children, commitments from a previous life. Can you cope with that? Can you ride that storm? It's a question for the younger guys to think about. Now, for you, the older woman, dating somebody significantly, less in age compared to you, younger than you. The question is this. Sometimes when people are in their youth, they do a lot of silly things in their youthful. As part of their youthful exuberance, a lot of silly things can happen. Now you have wiped off all the mistakes from your own youthful exuberance and gotten yourself to a particular position. This younger guy that you're dating, maybe they did all kinds of gambling and all kinds of things, and now they're in huge debt. Maybe they've just come out of university or school and are carrying school debt. They've borrowed money to go to school and are coming into their relationship without having clean hands. They're coming in with a lot of baggage. Is this something that you're ready to embrace, take on, and deal with or not? It's a question you have to ask yourself. Like, there's so many things you need to consider before you decide on what it is that you really want to do or not do. As I said before, if you're dating somebody and the age difference is just a couple years, in a lot of terms, it doesn't really matter. Unless it bothers you, the person going in, that much that you make a big fuss and hoo-ha about it, it doesn't really matter. If you don't tell anybody, nobody knows that, oh, I'm actually 2 years older than my husband, or I'm 3 years older than my husband. Nobody is to know that that is what is going on. The fifth thing that I want to talk about is that you need to understand that being committed to somebody or saying to somebody that you want to be in a committed relationship with them, it means different things to different people. That word commitment. To somebody, commitment just means you're exclusive. You're not seeing anybody else, and they are the only people in your life that you do, the bedroom antiques with. To somebody else, commitment means that we're going to get into this bonded relationship, whether we define it or go through with, actually signing on the dotted line. You're committing to me wholly, with your whole self and everything, financially committed, everything committed. And sometimes, some of our younger people, they're not interested in that. They're not looking to do that in a hurry. They want to be free. Right? They want to be free of that burden and committed to this particular person. So if you don't define what commitment means to the pair of you, and as I said, set expectations from the get-go so that everybody understands where we are in this whole thing of ours. You avoid all the heartbreaks and all of that. The sixth thing is that if you're dating somebody younger, you need to make sure that, and it's really applicable to any relationship anyway, you need to find the things that you love to do in common. The Bible says, how can two walk together unless you agree? If you're not in agreement on anything, if you don't have things that you both enjoy doing, how are you guys going to be committed to each other? How are you going to be in this relationship of yours together? And that is why a lot of people have come to this place of thinking that most people get into a marriage or a relationship with a younger person, and it's either people are thinking that, the younger person is a gold digger and is just seeking to be with this older person for what they seek to gain financially from her. Or that the older person is just with the younger person because maybe the bedroom antiques and the things that, the styles and the things that the younger person can do because they're stronger physically. It's a lot better than what your own age mates are capable of doing to you in the bedstead. That's the general view that a lot of people are walking around on this planet with, even me. But then there are people that you'll be surprised that they're younger men in their 30s. and the level of maturity that they have. They know what they want. They know where they're going. They figured out what it is that they want out of life. And you'd be surprised that you can meet a 35-year-old man who, yeah, age-wise, you think, oh, but he's only 35. But there's some 35-year-old men that are well put together, better than some of my 60-year-old brothers. They've had all the experiences that life has to offer, but it just kind of went over them. They haven't learned anything. They haven't positioned themselves. Hello, Blessing. How are you doing? They haven't positioned themselves about what it is that they want out of life. And so it depends on the individual that you're dating. It depends on who it is that you're with, that you're able to define and work out tease out for yourself what it is that works for you. Right? You should ask yourself how you're going to feel about this whole relationship. Because a lot of women are looking for a particular thing in dating a younger guy. But then when it comes down to the daily realities of it, you can see that they haven't thought about certain things before deciding to commit to this person. Imagine that you are dating somebody probably 15 or 20 years younger than you. And now you go to this restaurant. And whilst you're sitting there, the waiter or waitress confuses your partner, your boyfriend, for your son or your nephew. How are you going to feel? Are you ready for that kind of situation? Some people don't give a toss. Look, there are people who are dating older women, and you can see from, at least from what we see, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But you can see that they don't seem to be that bothered about anything. Yeah. Without saying too much, you guys know that the French Prime Minister was dating, or the French president was dating a woman probably 30 years his senior. But when you look at the two of them, I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but these people are, they seem to be happy and in love with each other. That is what we see. But the question is, does it work for you? They're very big brands and names, figures, public figures that we know, that have been married to or dated people that were a bit younger or older than them. They've made their marriages work. It's down to the individual. One of the former presidents of Ghana, whose wife passed away recently, he is in his early 80s, 83 or 84. His wife died at the age of 88. 4-year gap in difference. She was older than he was. It's something that happens. The thing is that this person that you're dating, this person that you're married to, is this somebody that you can respect? Is this somebody that you can submit to? When I say submit, it means that you're trusting this man's opinion, because whether you like it or not, this man is going to be the head of your marriage, the head of your home. So if this person is significantly younger than you are, does this person bring maturity to the table big enough that you can trust their decision-making process? Their opinions count and matter to you. Is this somebody that when the person is doing something, you know that their intentions are coming from a good place? Or is this somebody that you're going to be saying, I'm not sure whether this person is making the right decision, or this is all being fueled by youthful exuberance? Is this somebody that you can trust? That whatever they're doing, whatever they're thinking about is going to go well and has your best interest as the older partner in the relationship at heart? Because you will be surprised. And I'm pleasantly surprised, because some of the people that I know and love dearly are dating men that they're significantly younger than. But they'll come back to me and tell me that, oh, Sika, you would never believe this. I'm pleasantly surprised myself that we're breeding in the generation that is just after ours, in our 40s. There are men in their 30s that actually know how to treat a woman right, are actually emotionally available enough to understand what it is that older women are looking for. And actually, some men are attracted to older women because you exude confidence. The fact that you're able to be self-sufficient, that's something that some people admire. Some people like the maturity that the older partner is bringing into the relationship. But at the end of the day, the big $1 million question is, are you going to be able to submit to this person's authority as the man of your house when you know that you're 15 years older than he is? Is this something that you're going to be bringing up every day through the course of your marriage? But I'm older than you. Shut up there and grow up. If you're going to be behaving like that, honey, you're not ready to date a younger man. Age doesn't have to come into the picture. If that is what you're choosing to do, you have to understand that in doing so, this is somebody that you can wholly commit yourself to. That when you close your eyes and he's holding your hand, you can trust that he's not going to push you into a ditch or drive you into a ditch. But this is somebody who is going to be wholly committed to you, love you, respect you, cherish you, and somebody that you can trust with your whole self and believe in. I don't know what your intentions are. I don't know what you want to do. But I'm here to say that if you're really thinking about dating somebody that you're younger than, because this is an issue that bothers a lot of women. I've spoken to a lot of sisters, and this is an issue that bothers a lot of people. Because some women have tried relationships so much. You've dated somebody your own age. It hasn't worked. You've dated somebody older than you by a few years. It didn't work out. You went on to date somebody significantly older than you. That also hasn't worked. But there's somebody a year, 2, 3, even 5 years younger than you that is really into you. And you're thinking about this person that it's like I'm dating my own younger brother. It can't work. I can't do this. I've heard so many women say, there is absolutely no way I can take my clothes off and lie in bed with somebody that I'm younger than. But the considerations and the things that you need to think about is this. Is the individual coming into the relationship bringing maturity to the table? Is this somebody that has figured out their own self already and know who they are and are comfortable in that person enough that you're not going to be dating somebody who is insecure, doesn't know who they are, and now you as the woman, you're insecure yourself too, so you start acting up as a child so that you can be in league with him. I've seen a lot of women do that. You're 60, dress up like a 60-year-old. Then all of a sudden, they're dating a man in his late 30s, mid-30s or 40s. And you're 60 and you're trying to behave like a 25, 30-year-old woman dating a 35, 40-year-old man. When in fact, you are 60 years old. Wearing skimpy clothes like, a young adult. It's not what is really expected of a 60-year-old person, is it? So you have to understand that this younger man fell for you, being you, the you that you are, just the way you are. How he saw you is what he loved about you. And you have to be confident enough and love yourself at that particular position. I'm in my 40s. I'm not going to change myself to become a 20-year-old, cut the side of my hair, dye it different colors, and try to look anything. This is who I am. If you don't love me for me, then it's just not going to work. But these are things that we both need to think about, and both parties need to be comfortable with, if that's what you're wanting to do. So here are the things that I would say to my sisters who want to date men that are younger, especially significantly younger than them. Is that if you want to be with a man that is younger than you, you have to go into the relationship with a very open mind. You can't go in and be saying, oh, because everybody says that people who are younger have youthful exuberance, they haven't figured out what it is that they want out of life, so I'm going to treat him like a child. He's not your child. This is somebody you're going to be sharing your everything with, including you know what. So if you're going to be sharing your you know what with somebody that you in your mind are considering to be a child, then it means you like sleeping with children, and that's a crime. So think about it. You need to get your mind and elevate yourself to that place where you're able to see this person as your co-equal, where age disappears. It doesn't come into the picture in any way, shape, or form. If you're not able to do that, my darling, dating younger man is not your cup of tea. Waka pass. Move on, because it's not for you. But if you can see this person as a partner, genuinely, where age doesn't matter. He's 35, but he behaves like a 45-year-old man, like me, my own self. So I'm happy we're able to do the things that we love. We have things in common. I like to hike. He loves to hike. I love music. He loves music. At 8 o'clock, I want to listen to the news. He can do that with you. And that doesn't also mean that you have to change somebody to be you, because you're not looking to marry you. You can have your differences, but there has to be a common grounding. Something that binds the two of you together. Something that you can both relate to. I have a relative of mine who has his own rule in his mind about the sort of women that he can be with. And I understand him, each to their own. But what he says to me is that I'm in my 70s. There is absolutely no way I can be with some woman who is more than 13 or 14 years younger than me. What are we going to talk about? What would we talk about? Because a 30-year-old, 40-year-old woman comes from a different era to me. So when I'm there reminiscing about how in the 40s and 50s we did this, that, and that, and what type of music was in vogue at that time, the person can't even relate to it. Somebody in their 20s and 30s is all about hip-hop and all the noise and the shouting and jumping around. And that just sounds like, noise to me. So you have to think about those things and be comfortable that no matter what it is, I can cope. I can live with that situation before you put yourself into it. The second thing, and I've mentioned this already, is that you need to accept and embrace your own individuality. You have to love your own self just as you are. I'm 40-something and I think I'm so amazing. I love the skin that I have. I love the gray hairs that I have. I love the age that I'm at and all the experiences that has afforded me. And I'm not going to change myself, my looks, anything about me to try and be anything else than who I am. And I'm not saying that because you're 60, you need to dress up like a grandmother. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to be comfortable with yourself. A lot of people do things that you can just tell that they're not comfortable with who they are. They haven't accepted and dealt with their own self and come to that place that, hey, this is me in this age. And this is how I look. And this man is going to have to love me for me. If there has to be any significant changing where, you're wearing hot pants just because you want to be in part with him, because people his age and the women his type of age, that's how they behave, then honey, this is going to sound like hard work. And it is actually going to be hard work for you trying to do that. Embrace yourself and understand that the man was attracted to you being older, just as you are. He's accepted you with your wrinkles. He's accepted you with your maturity. He loves you for you, period. If you can't accept that, if you have to change and be something that you're not, and this goes both ways. If the younger guy feels that he has to do something to measure up to you because you're making him feel like that, then there's no point. There's absolutely no point in being in that kind of a marriage or relationship. And woman, please, my sister, stop bringing up the whole age factor. Every conversation, and I'm older than you, and I'm older than you. You behave like a child, and you are always doing this. You knew that this person is younger than you. You love the fact that, the bedroom antiques are on point. If you trust him enough with all of that, and you're deciding that this is somebody that you want to be with, then you have to trust everything and embrace everything that they come with. Every human being comes as a package. You can't say, I love the skin. I love the skin that the person comes with. I love the fact that she is tall, and I love the fact that she has a nice figure, but I don't like her protruding belly. I don't like her sagging boobs. I don't like the fact that she has African nose. I'm sorry, you can't pick and choose what you want. This is the whole package. You either take it all or you leave it all. But sometimes, both sides, we get into relationships and we're looking to pick particular things that we like. But we don't like to hold on to the not so nice things that comes with it too. It's a package. The person may be all that, but he also snores at night. You have to love that one too. It's part of the package. Take it or leave it. Number 4 thing is that before you date somebody that you're significantly older than, and this is to the sisters, if that is what you're choosing to do, if it's just a few years, a lot of the times it doesn't matter. Except for very nosy people who will start to be doing the maths and calculations in their mind. Oh, this person finished university in 2002 and that one finished in 2000. Why is this girl dating somebody significantly younger? But here is the thing. The thing is that you yourself that is going into that relationship have to prepare yourself and your mind to cope with all of that. Because sometimes when the age gap is wide and you're the older person, let's say you're in your 50s, you've bought a house, it's all fully done, you have a job or a business that you're running that is successful and thriving, everybody can see that you've put yourself together, your children are older, they've left home, you've even started getting grandchildren. Hello, Auntie Ellen, how are you? I hope you're fine. You've even started to get grandchildren that come to visit you with your children sometimes. And everybody knows that you're prepared for pension. Everybody knows that you have your whole life figured out. You're never going to need anything. And now you're dating somebody significantly less in age than you. It is normal for your parents, your siblings, or people that are around you to worry that, is this guy not just being around this big sister of mine because he wants money? Or he's a gold digger. He's come and take everything that you have and ruin your life. Or is this somebody that is actually coming to be a partner and actually love you and have your interest at heart? Question. You also have to accept that people who love you would also wonder, this sister of mine, she's 65, but she's still thinking about, their bedroom stuff for a 20-year-old. What is happening? Is this thing just a fun thing? Is it because she's depressed about, how life has caught up with her and she's older and, still living in the past in her mind? Or is this really a relationship where the two of you are actually, in reality, committed to each other and are going to spend the rest of your lives together, loving each other and supporting each other as relationships were made to be? What is it going to be? You have to think about it and be comfortable with the decision that you've made. So when people come to you and say, is this your son? You have to be ready to deal with that. When your family come to you and call your significant other a gold digger, you have to be ready to cope with all of that. You know, sometimes when you're in love with somebody, you can't see the things that are glaring for everybody else that is outside of your love web can see. So sometimes when people are telling you things, it's not that you just dismiss it and just, throw your hands in the air and say, I don't care about this. Because these are people who know you. These are people who love you. These are people who have seen you slowly but surely build your life and have all the things that you've got. And so I'm not saying you just dismiss them. Oh, be quiet. This is my life. I can do what I want. No. These are people who genuinely are coming in with a clean heart and a conscience to ask relevant questions. Are you sure about this guy that is 20 years your junior? Are you sure 30 years your junior? Are you sure that this man is with you for the right reasons? You're significantly older means that you're going to probably start having the degenerative illnesses that come with age. Is this man going to be with you in your 70s? God forbid you get a stroke. He's in his 30s, 40s. He still thinks that he's still all that. And he's going to be out there looking for everything in skirts. Is this man going to be with you when you need help and somebody to love you and be there for you at that time? These are relevant questions. So when people that love you and have been around you are asking those questions, you don't just dismiss them. They're relevant questions that you should have thought about yourself too. Is this person actually going to be there? Or is this just a bit of fun? There are a lot of guys today who are younger and their whole, it's kind of like it's on their bucket list that they're going to have a time where they have fun with an older woman. Some people take pride in that. Being able to show that they're the king of the jungle and they can give it to you well and truly. In the bedroom antique side of things. It's somebody's thing that they want to have. Take that off their bucket list that when I was in my 30s, I dated a 70-year-old woman. When I was in my 30s, I had a 65 or a 60-year-old woman in my life. How do you know that this person is in it for the long haul and for all the right reasons? And they're going to love you for you. What age limits, age gap are you comfortable with? Because whether you like it or not, you can hide all your age with makeup all you want. Your body will fail you. When you're 85 and you're walking down the street holding hands with this man and all of a sudden your knee gives way and there's this clicking sound in your knee and you have to stop for 5 minutes, are you going to be comfortable with that? Are you going to not feel embarrassed about that? You have to think about all of those things. And as I said, it's all based on the definition that you're giving, the reason why you're in the relationship. If it's just for fun and companionship, hey, each to their own. Do what works for you. But if this is really something that you're thinking is going to go for the long haul, you need to think about it. Loneliness is real. Loneliness happens to the best of people. You know, when you're not in that situation, you can't understand. But loneliness, it's a real thing. And it happens to real people in real time. Especially living in the West. It's hard. Living in the West and living by yourself is hard. Some people can hack it. Some people can't. Some people get into different things to deal with that. But some people cannot. So it's a real thing. And people do things for real reasons. It's not my place to come and judge anybody. I'm just putting out the facts on the ground. But equally, you can also be in a marriage and a relationship and still be lonely. And to me, that is worse than being by yourself. Because at least when you're by yourself, you can rationalize it in your mind. It makes sense. I'm alone. Makes sense. You can find things and people, situations and activities to get into that deals with some of that. You could get out there and donate your time. Do charitable things for people that brings you yourself, that feeling that you've put yourself out there and you've helped other people. You can find ways through different groups. If knitting and crocheting is something you're into, you can find friends from that. Photography, you can find friends in that. Going to church, you can find friends and a whole family from the things that interest you, music, whatever. But at the end of the day, you equally have to understand this, that it is better to be by yourself and build real, meaningful connections with people than to be in a marriage and be by yourself. Because your partner doesn't understand you. He or she does not get your needs. He doesn't know what you want. He's just emotionally unavailable. There is nothing worse than that. That when you're sad, this person can't understand or relate to you. What are you crying about? It hurts. Imagine that you're sick. You've had cancer, the most, horrendous thing, that C word that people hear, and things are happening to them. People even think they're already not going to be here anymore, just by being pronounced that they have that C thing. And then you're married to somebody, and all they have to say, what are you crying about? After all, they found out that you're unwell, you're sick, and they're doing something that, what is they crying for? Is it not better for you to be by yourself and process your emotions than to think in your mind that you actually have a man who's going to understand you and love you and say, oh, honey, I'm so sorry that this has happened to you, but I don't want you to worry about anything. I'm going to be there for you every single step of the way. Which is worse? Think about it. Think about it. It takes somebody who knows to tell you the realities on the ground. Sometimes we get so desperate for, you think that anything has got to be better than being by yourself. But honey, if you're with somebody that just can't understand or get you, have no kind of emotional connection to you, I promise you, it is worse than being by yourself. When you're by yourself, you can process that. You can deal. We can quickly find something to get into. And that is better than spending your life with somebody who is just there. It's just a figure that is there. Do you know that there's some women who are married to men, and when the woman is unwell, they leave the house? They'll rather go hang out with their friends. They don't care about the fact that you're not well and anything can happen. Oh, let me stay home and be there. If she needs anything, I can be there to give it. Oh, no, she's just sleeping and she's just lying there. I can't even get what I want out of this whole thing, which is the bedroom stuff. So you know what? I'm bored. Jump in the car and they're gone. What is worse? What is worse? What is worse? You're married, but you never sit down with your spouse and have me time with your spouse. What is worse? All he cares about, there are some people, some of my friends that are sat in marriages, and the only thing they're good for is this thing that they do at night time. It's like the thing is looking for somewhere to go, and there's a pot. So let the spoon enter the pot, take the meat, and once it's finished eating, it doesn't know you. Turn itself to one side and snore. That's all they do. No communication, no talking, nothing. What is worse? What is worse? Which is worse? So you need to think about all of these things when you're deciding about who it is that you're wanting to spend your life with older, younger, you decide what works for you. I'm not going to sit here and prescribe, oh, you can't marry somebody once they are 3 or 4 years younger than you. This marriage is not going to work out. It's not true. What can you deal with? What is comfortable for you? Who are you prepared to take on board and love with everything? Where age is not always going to be, and I'm older than you, and I'm older than you. Never compare your partner to anybody else, because that person is their own individual. That younger guy that you, the older woman, is choosing to be with, he's his own person. Stop comparing him to your children, your ex-marriage, that man that you had that's a similar age to you. Stop doing that. It's not the same. It's not the same person. If you wanted that person, you'd have dated him. Go be with him. If you're choosing to be with somebody younger in age than you, then you have to be prepared to wear it, accept it, love it for what it is. If you can't do that, it's not for you, my sister. Let it be and accept it that this is just not me. And don't do follow like somebody is dating a man who is 10 years her junior and is working for them. So let me also do it. When you know in your heart of hearts that you can't just rationalize dating somebody younger than you, honey. It's not for you. You are not in that space. The fact that somebody likes fufu does not mean that you also have to like fufu. No. Be your own self and be honest with your own self, how you are, and accept things for what they are. Sometimes some of us are doing things because that's the order of the day. That's what everybody is doing. So I also ought to do the same thing. Honey, do you even know who you are? Have you even accepted who you are and embraced yourself for you? Like, I feel like many of us are living a lie because we've never really, truly given ourselves to be in touch and in tune with ourselves, like our inner self. So we're just doing follow. This person is doing, so let me also try it. We all have a life and a destiny to fulfill. Somebody's destiny is not your destiny. The fact that I like pounded yam and egusi does not mean that you should also like the same thing. You may love jollof rice. Somebody may love poached salmon and potatoes. Hell, we are all different. We can't be the same. And you have to embrace the differences in this life. Variety, they say, is the spice of life. We all can't be the same height, have the same face, the same look. How boring would life be? I love African. I'm African and I love it. I love African clothing, except unfortunately, I don't have any to wear right now. But it's the thing that makes me the most comfortable. Somebody loves to be in hot pants and I am not that. I'm me. I love me for me. And whoever wants to be with me ought to accept and love me for me and not want to change me to be something that I'm not. Understand that. Sometimes when you're dating somebody younger than you, and this actually also works for every type of relationship that you're in, it's important that you spend time with the boyfriend's friends or the husband's friends, so that you actually get to know who this person is. What is this person made of? Because, birds of the same feathers, they flock together. If you're dating somebody and you don't know nothing about them, you don't know who their friends are, what they talk about, how is their mindset like, what is their view of life, you just go and pluck somebody from social media, you pluck somebody from Tinder, from Match.com, from whatever, and that's it, Bumble. And then you're just happy that you found, you're dating somebody. Do you know anything about them? Do you know anything about this person? How can you get to know somebody? It's by finding the people that they spend time with. is by having relationship with the people that matter to him. It's what's going to give you an insight into who this person is, so that you can make that informed choice. Is this actually for me? Can I actually hack this? Do we have the same purpose? Do our destinies even align with each other? Can we support and be there for each other? If you can't, waka pass. Don't make decisions just based on a feeling. A fleeting, passing feeling. It's not enough to make a lifetime decision by. Oh man, how many people wish that they knew this? Some people chose the fact that they're lonely, and they just went, and one day they went to church, and when they finished, they met that guy by the side of the street, and today they wish they had never even gone to that church service. Because you made that decision to spend the rest of your life with somebody you barely know, because you made that decision based on fleeting moment of loneliness that passes with time. After all, when you're lonely, as soon as you find something else to channel that energy to, you're not lonely anymore. There was a time in my life when I felt, oh, I don't have anybody. I'm so lonely. Now I don't even have time. I'm running away from people. I don't want to spend, when I'm doing things with other people, and sometimes it feels like I'm wasting time because I ain't got time. It's a fleeting feeling. It's not something that is constantly there. It's only going to be constantly there if you're not doing anything about it. But when you find something that makes your soul happy to do, trust me, that loneliness, it dissipates. I'm here doing what I love. What I love is this, talking to my Facebook family. It gives me so much energy to start my day. So nothing can faze me because I love what I'm doing. I'm not lonely. If I ever felt it, all I have to do is switch my camera on, and as soon as I start to see my Facebook family, I get so excited. I don't know half of you. I don't know 80% of you. I don't know 95% of you, but wherever you are, it doesn't matter. You are here. We're having a conversation. You're talking, you're commenting, you're liking, your love hearts are popping up. Oh boy, does it fill me up. So you need to really think about it before you get into it. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. Discuss your relationship goals. Why am I getting into this relationship? Am I getting into it because I want to spend my life with somebody? I want to share my love with somebody. I want to give myself to somebody. Or am I just doing it because, oh, I'm lonely and I feel bored and, I have to have somebody. I have needs that need to be met. So if you get into a marriage and the sole purpose or the sole premise is because, you're a man who has needs. You're a woman who has needs. You also have to get to some time. I have to do sometimes so that I can screw my brains on right. Honey, you need to find a way to solve that problem. Putting a round peg in a round hole is not a good enough reason to be married. What will happen when the square peg has to go on holiday because something happened and, it has to go on leave for 6 weeks? What will you do? Or actually, it's not even functioning anymore. It can't work as it used to anymore. So, yeah, if that was your whole reason for being married, can you imagine how lonely and miserable you will be? Because you didn't really love the guy. You didn't really love the woman. You just love what she has. You just love that thing. Swinging pendulum, now they sweet you. So that was the only reason. So now that that's not there, what are you going to do? But if this person was somebody that you loved, somebody that you took your time to develop a relationship and friendship over, yeah, it's quite challenging that now the square peg and the round hole are not meeting, but you can look past that. because that wasn't the only reason why you got into it in the first place. This person is your friend, somebody you actually love to spend time with. So whilst the peg is on holiday, the swinging pendulum is on leave of absence, you can still lie on their chest, put your head there. You can still hold each other and have a conversation. And that is still being intimate with each other without actually doing the do. But if you're just with somebody because, oh my God, he can do 30 rounds in 24 hours. You know, we're at it like two crazy dogs. That's not enough. As soon as that excitement wears off, as soon as one or the other of the two things that is involved in that activity is not available anymore, you would want to leave. Don't do it. Hello, Dorcas, darling. I miss you so much. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you, honey? Think about the financial hurdles that are going to be ahead of you. Because if you're in a particular place economically and the other person is not, you don't want to get into the marriage feeling that my younger husband or my younger boyfriend is just going to be sponging off me. I have to look after him. I have to do everything for him. Are you comfortable with doing that? Because somebody who is 35 may still not have arrived yet. In today's world, even when you finish school, a lot of people are in their 30s. They haven't even started working yet because they graduated, but they can't find work to do. So they haven't established themselves. Are you ready? Are you prepared to embrace that? And as the older partner in the relationship, be there to provide a roof over his head, cook for him, feed him, clothe him, and all of that. Are you ready to do that? And is that going to be a problem for you? If the answer is no, and you're going to enjoy him, and you're going to be with him, oh, I'm glad that you're here today, though, busy or not, darling. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for everything. Help me say thank you to Dorcas. I've never met her, but she's amazing. God richly bless you. So think about those things. Think about it. Is this something that I can be comfortable with? If the answer is yes, do it. The answer is no, honey. You are not being held by anybody to do anything. Just do it because you want to do it. If you don't want to, walk away from that. It's not for you. It doesn't have to be for you. Accept that. Understand that. And keep it moving. The last thing that I want to say is that you have to respect each other's differences and opinions. And be comfortable with that. So if he's still dipping into his youthfulness and he loves this particular kind of music and he wants to cut his hair with all kinds of funny shapes and designs in the hair, that is what you chose. Allow him to be. Allow him to flow. Allow him to do what he has to do. Don't try to change him. Can't you see that I'm in my 70s? You have to act the part. What is this childhood thing that you're doing? It means that this is not somebody that you can spend your life with. You're looking at him as your son, your younger brother, or your nephew. Don't do it. Love him for him. Be with him for him. As he is. Accept that. If you can't, waka pass. And him that is going for the older woman. If you can't love her for her, and you're just attracted to something or two about her money, and some silly thing that you have in your mind, fantasy of yours that you're looking to satisfy, that is not a good enough reason to be with this person in any long-term committed anything. As I said in the start, people get into relationships for different reasons. It is important, it is imperative, it is one of the most important things you can do to save yourself all kinds of wahala. Is that from the first day, from the get-go, set it in stone. As soon as somebody comes to you that they're in love with you and they want to be with you, if you're considering this person very early days, put your cards on the table. This way, the person understands what they're getting themselves into. If they want to play ball, you continue to study them and recognize or find out whether this is somebody you can really, truly commit to. And for me, the most important thing, the most important question that the older woman is asking this younger guy or asking her own self first, even before going there, is this, is that. Is this younger guy somebody I can love? Somebody I can trust and completely and totally depend on? If this person is not dependable, if you can't trust this person that I'm never going to sleep outside, this person is going to seek my interest above everything else and always do right by me, don't get into it. If this isn't somebody that you can respect and be proud enough to show to the world that this is my husband, with confidence, without trying to hide it. That's what some people do. Some older women dating younger men. You treat the relationship as if it's some dirty secret. You don't want the other part. You don't want your friends, your family, the people who love and cherish you most to know that you're with somebody younger. So you only go out with this person at night. Or there's specific places that you're not intending to find people that know you or see you. Or you want the younger guy to sneak into your house at night, sneak into your bed at nighttime, and by the crack of dawn, you want him gone because you don't want your elderly children, your friends, to come and see what is going on. Auntie Elaine says, what about the corn that really knows how to play you? Auntie, this is where the whole premise, the beginning of the conversation, this is where it all starts from. Did you sit with this person from the get-go and define the terms of your relationship when you got into it? Because sometimes people come into your life based on what they are seeing. Oh, this is a very comfortable, kind-hearted older woman. She has her act together. She owns this house. She's established. She will never. If I relate with this woman, I will never go hungry. So they're clearly not in it because they're in love with you. They want to share life with you. Even if you don't have, they are prepared to step up and chip in. They were always in it for what they can get. It's always me. Gimme all the time. Asking all the time. And if you're with them long enough, people can't hide their true feelings, their true who they are for that long. But you see, oftentimes, as I said, when we are lonely, when we are desperate to we just want to feel what it feels like to have somebody around you. That is a very dangerous place to be, to make a lifetime decision. That's why some people just say to themselves, I'm only in this for fun. There are people that I know personally. They're older women, they've had their children, they've done everything that they need to do, and they're out there. I'm not saying that this is what I'm prescribing, but sometimes people do certain things to protect themselves. I'm not here to judge anybody. But I know somebody that is very successful and has achieved everything in life. She's tried this whole marriage. She's done everything. People have just taken from her. She's now come to a place where she said, you know what, I'm just done. She's dated people her age. It didn't work. Older. It didn't work. Younger. She is just done. So you know what? I'm just a human being with feelings. Once a while, I also want to feel that love and embrace from another person. So she has somebody. They've come to understand their relationship. You do your thing, I do my thing. And we get together when we need to get together. And that's the end of the story. That's what works for somebody. It's not a prescription for me. But I'm the person that has an open mind about people. Because everybody does things based on their experiences. We are all shaped by the things that we've been through. The traumas that we face. The things that we go through is what makes us the people that we are. And if you really want to heal from that, it takes therapy. Speaking to somebody. Being prepared to work on yourself. To get rid and to let go of all the past hurts. Some of us are not having successful relationships because that's the aura we're putting out there. We've been through so much, it hurts so much, and you just are so scared that it's going to happen again. So you know what? Let me just close off. So some people are not even interested in having somebody part-time to do whatever with. They're just done. Some other people feel that need, that urge to have somebody. So they've defined their own terms and conditions and are doing things that they think will work for them. But honey, you just need to come to a place where you realize that carrying baggage that is too heavy for you, it can actually take you out. And so there comes a time in life when you've hit your head against the wall so many times that you say to yourself that I just want to offload all this burden and make myself happy. There are people who are sat in marriages where it's like the couple can't agree on anything. But some people are insistent that I have to do this and this person has to also want to do the same thing. How are you ever going to be happy? Live your life. There is still individuality in the common union of marriage. The fact that my husband drinks coffee, I hate the smell of coffee. Does not mean I also have to drink coffee. If he's drinking coffee, I must also drink coffee. If he wears red, I must also. What is that? You are still individuals in the marriage. The most important thing is you love each other, you respect each other, you're committed to this thing, and you're saying that no matter what happens, the two of us are going to make it work. The reason why we have all these problems in relationships and marriage is that one person is taking an entrenched position, the other person doesn't give a toss. But when two people have said to themselves that we are going to ride this storm together, we are going to choose that our marriage is going to become a job, a full-time job that also requires our time, our effort, our emotions, everything. And we're going to put our higher source. It could be God, it could be whatever you think works for you. At the center of all of that, it works. But when you're married to a woman who just came into the marriage because she's found somebody who can take care of her, somebody who can pay all the bills, while she just sits at home and cooks and looks after the children and all of that, then that's what you've chosen. If you're married to a man who just wants a cook, a cleaner, but cannot really respect your views as a woman and treat you like a partner in a partnership, then that's what you've chosen. This is why we have the issues that we have in relationships. Because the two people never went in saying to themselves that this is it. We're going to ride that storm. We're going to weather that storm together. Come what may. We're committed to this and we're going to make it happen no matter what. That is where all the issues arise. So if you're making this decision to date somebody that is younger than you, a man that is younger than you, the woman, I can't prescribe any age range for you. If it's 10 years old younger, if it's 5 years, if it's 2 years. What are you comfortable with? Which man can you submit to? Love, respect, treat right. Whose intentions you can respect. Whose decisions you can respect. And trust that they're in it not to hurt you, but to love you and seek your interest and your good at all times. If this is found in somebody who is 2, 3, 5 years younger than you, and it works, why not? If this is found in somebody who is 5 years older than you, why not? You think about it. You do what works best for you. But always remember that you must define the terms and conditions of your relationship from the early days. And be comfortable and be at peace with that decision. For better, for worse. Exactly, Geraldine. May the heavens bless us all and give us the things that we are desiring in this life. I love you all so, so much. I want to see people that are comfortable, succeeding, thriving, and happy with whichever decision you have made. Being alone is not an illness. We all need somebody, it is true. But take it from me that it is worse to be with somebody that you were never meant to be with than to be alone. At least when you're alone, you can rationalize that in your brain and you can do things that bring you happiness. Being with somebody who doesn't get you is like being in perpetual bondage. The lake and hellfire. That's what it feels like. Take it from somebody who knows. I love you so much, guys, ladies. I want to thank you all so much. Kelechi, Sister Dorcas, Walling, Solomon, Felicia, Ephraim, Geraldine, Precious, Abna, Mabel, Tanya, Lynn. Oh boy, we can go on and on and on. I love you so much, Patsy. Take care of yourself. Think about what I've said. And please, if you love me any ounce, share this video. The people that need to hear this. The people that need to hear this so that they can make informed decisions about their lives going forward. I love the stars that I just saw pop up my screen. Whoever it came from, may the heavens bless you. I love you so much. Thank you so, so much. I knew it was going to be Sister Dorcas. God bless you. Thank you so much. Please share the video, share it. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please do so. And the heavens will bless you. I love you. Happy Tuesday. Have a great week, and I'll see you same time tomorrow. Mwah. Bye.